Today, a new bill on police reform goes before the D.C. Council. It's being introduced by D.C. Councilwoman Mary Che, who joins us now live in studio to talk a little bit more about it. Thanks for joining us this morning.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. So this is a police reform bill. Can you explain a little bit of the components of it?
There are various parts of it. One increases the degree of discovery or exchange of information between the government and defendants when they're on trial to make it fair between the parties. But there are three other aspects. One is a bill combined with yet another bill that Chairman Phil Mendelson and I have introduced in the past, and we're introducing again. One relates to eyewitness identification testimony and how eyewitness identification processes are done. When you see an array of photos, for example, this bill would say that the police officer or the investigator showing you the array shouldn't know who it is and shouldn't suggest in any way that that person, the suspect, is actually in that array. It's called a double blind.
Yeah.
Right, it's called a double blind. You know, a lot of people think that they're mistaken convictions because of false confessions or forensic. The leading reason for mistaken convictions is mistaken eyewitness identification. So that deals with that. Okay. Then there's a matter about assault on police officer. That statute is overly broad.
So you're looking to more narrowly define what an assault is.
Even the police chief has said that it's overly broad. And so we're going to more narrowly define that. And that's sometimes used, by the way, by police as a way of, you know, charging a person whom they may have injured so that they have some way of negotiating their way out of a complaint against them. And then finally it provides more information to the Citizen Complaint Board because they're charged with overseeing and reporting to us about how well things are working in terms of supervising the police and making recommendations for reforms. So the combination, and I will co-introduce it this morning with the chairman of the council, Phil Mendelson.
Going back to defining exactly what an assault on a police officer is, of course we've seen everything that unfolded in Baltimore last week, but you were quick to point out that this bill was in the works before we saw those riots take place.
Yes, it's been in the works for a while, and as I said, parts of it have been introduced in the past. However, it becomes even more timely now, and I'm hoping that, you know, the recent events, as tragic as they were, will give a push behind this bill for the council to actually move it.
What kind of support do you anticipate having on this bill?
I'm hoping I have everyone supporting me.
What's the feedback been thus far?
Well, I'll be only introducing it today, then it will have to move through the process. But I think the first indication of the degree of support will be the number of people who sign on with me. You co-introduce it with someone, and then after you introduce it, we ask for co-sponsors, and people will probably raise their hands. I think we'll probably get even a majority just today.
You talked about the police chief mentioning that he even agrees, or she agrees, yes, Chief Lanier agrees that the assault on a police officer seems to be a little too broad. Have you spoken with other police officers? Do they agree with you on some of the other reforms that are a part of this bill?
Well, no, actually, when you introduce a bill, it's kind of like the beginning of the conversation. It'll have to go through the process, which will include a hearing, at which time we'll hear from all people who may be affected and those, you know, who are interested in the topic, and we'll have a better understanding, you know, about whether there, need to tweak it in some way, but this is just an introduction.
Well, and as you put it out, it is certainly a timely conversation to be having.
It is.
Given everything that took place. D.C. Councilwoman Mary Che, thanks for coming in and speaking with us today, and
my pleasure.
Best of luck today as you introduce this bill.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.